Makes the catch. It's Haynes. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Clemson jumps to the line. To throw, it's Klubnik. It's complete to the right. They knock him down right at the 20-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but maybe they'll keep the offense on the field. Now on fourth down, here comes the field goal team. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Absolute shank. Missed it. And the score will stay right where it is after that miss.
Hey, sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
That is an awesome play up front right there, crashing that play in the backfield. And it's funny, you know, you think back to Clemson. Remember when Trevor Lawrence won a national title his true freshman year? It wasn't necessarily about Trevor Lawrence. They won that title because of their defensive dominance, especially on the D-line. That may have been the best D-line we've ever seen in college football. And I tell you, sometimes this dude looks like he could start on that D-line. He's that talented.
They'll move the tight end. Going to swing it on second down. Here's the pressure. Oh, big fella almost had a pick right there. Instead, it falls incomplete.
This offense really is putting themselves behind the 8 ball right now on this drive. Sack first down, just thrown an incompletion. So third in California. Defense knows you're probably going to throw it. What can you dial up here?
Back to throw, it's Manning. Bringing the heat. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
I want to give a shout out to the defense there on third down, doing a really nice job disguising their coverage because it looked like they confused the quarterback on third down. Really nice job getting back into that zone and making sure that ball falls incomplete.
That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Leaves it with the back. He breaks a tackle. He has the first and still on his feet. And he's brought down after a nice game. There's an idea that Clemson can only run the ball when they sort of trick you and get you in space, but they're showing a lot of versatility now.
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was finesse. They've been a finesse offense, more about tempo and body blows than it is about, you know, being physical up front. But what this unit does get that physicality and get that ground game and a good offensive line. I think that's when you see the best of the Clemson Tigers.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Fires to the wideout. Complete downfield. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. The give to the tailback. Shakes off the defender. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. First play of the period will be a second down. The give to the back. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Man, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that third and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a fourth down.
He might want another play. On fourth down, going to the air. Hauls it in, the first down and more. That'll be enough for the first down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. And the Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Give to the running back. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Handoff from the gun. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. They go to the ground. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. This offense has been money on fourth down here in the first half. They'll try to make it 3 for 3. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak. Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
Hey, he looks short of that play, and the quarterback sneak is such an easy play, and you trust it because the quarterback gets the ball right away, but that defensive line was having none of it. Failed fourth down. Big-time stop for this defense.
Dropping back, it's Manning. Here comes the heat. Oh, that's going to be a safety.
Well, you came into this one thinking it might be a defensive struggle. And how about this unit? How aggressive have they been early in the game? They're just getting after their opponent, and they come away scoring the first points of the game here in the second quarter with the safety.
Down at the 29, and the Clemson offense will take over first and 10.
Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Got out of trouble and throws. Catch in the middle, it's Brown. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Lets it fly. Intercepted. Big play. Stops the drive. He was thinking big return. Didn't get that. But boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31.
QB never saw the defender. He's staring his receiver down, telegraphing his throw, and the DB jumped all over that.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Pulls it in, it's Moore. And he'll be brought down.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain. The Longhorns are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Down to 2 minutes to play in the half, and the referees signal for the 2-minute timeout. The Longhorns come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. The play action fake. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. Start from the 19-yard line. Leaves it with the running back. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. Clemson is quick to the line. Might be calling a hot route. Looking downfield, it's Klubnik. Quarterback moving. Outside the pocket, lets it go. He makes the catch. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-hook.
And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's got it again. And they pick up just one. It'll be 3rd and 9.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
The offense will stay on the field and go for it on 4th down. 2 for 3 so far in this one. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on 4th down. Still going. Touchdown, Clemson. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
You know, there are so many coaches out there in 2-minute situations at the end of the half with a lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and let's finish this half now. Now, we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time, so get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Send the tight end in motion. Looking to pass. It's Manning. Got his man. Crosses to 35. Ernie on the Jets. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Looking to throw on first down. He's going to fire deep. Intercepted to stop the threat. So that'll do it here in the first half. Stay tuned. Halftime is coming. Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick.
Man, how about that? You come out of the locker room, you just had a little bit of a break, you rested, you told your club we're going to come out, and now we're going to be aggressive. We're going to kick an onside even though we're winning and you failed. Now this defense better step up and respond.
Trying to set the tone on the ground in the second half. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
And when you go into the half and you're down, like that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this second half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping the run. They got to play like this the rest of the game.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. The Tigers in the hurry-up. Might be changing the route. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Going for it all. Oh, it's picked off. Not the second half start they'd hoped for. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
That's a bit of a gut punch for the offense because you went in at halftime, you made your adjustments, you're feeling good about your game plan coming here in the second half, and right away you throw an interception to the defense.
They are stuck deep in their own territory and trying to get out, opening the drive from their own 3. Looking for a man. It's Manning. Throws to the tight end. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
Yeah, and that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense, or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? After the incompletion, they go back up top. It's complete. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28. Hookem is hooking up with some big plays in the passing game.
Yeah, finding their guys down the field. You think about offenses that Texas usually have, some form of spread, and then find those elite guys on the outside that can win those matchups for you and make those big plays.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Wants to throw on first down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Ringo. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Grab on the left. Stopped at the 41-yard line after the 5-yard gain.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
The Longhorns are rolling down the field.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
Looking to throw, it's Manning. Oh, they're after him. Oh, he's going to be brought down. A huge loss on the play.
That's a big-time play on the D-line right there. And listen, you know, they've had a lot of NFL guys in recent years up front. William the Fridge Perry, old-school Clemson great on the D-line. He'd be proud of watching that performance on that last play. This guy right here, man, sometimes he just looks like a throwback.
And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38.
Well, it's a second catch on the drive, and that's obviously a massive play for this offense. And he's starting to prove to his quarterback here that he's winning his one-on-ones, and he deserves some more looks.
Here's an opportunity for this offense in search of its first touchdown. It's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Rush is on him. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
On 2nd down, he'll try to make the connection. Quarterback now breaking the field. Hits him in stride inside the 10. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
Bag's got it. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Now it's 2nd and goal. Scanning the field, it's Manning. Touchdown, Longhorn! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when they're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out in the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Looking for space, it's Adams. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
The give out of the gun. The Tigers get enough for the 1st down. Inside a minute to go here in the 3rd.
Nice job being physical by this offensive line, getting the 1st down, and what do? Right away, right back on the football, ready to run some tempo.
They'll leave it with him. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
And that's what makes this defense so difficult to run against. They've got guys up front that just push offensive linemen backwards. They basically push the blockers right into the lap of that running back.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Trying to set up the screen. They could have used a little bit more there. Picked up a 3. It's 3rd and 7. Well, they made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out of it.
He wants to change this route.
That's the end of the third quarter. Clemson 9, Texas 7.
After swapping ends of the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Looking for a man. It's Klubnik. Throws to the wideout. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the grab, got the conversion, and still going. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with the first down. This Clemson offense moving quickly down the field. Using his legs, it's random. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, with the defense trailing, they're trying to dictate to the offense now. Really nice blitz call that time, blowing the run play up for a huge loss. You're probably going to see that again. They're trying to find a way to create a takeaway, create negative plays, and get the ball back.
They'll run it. They want to take their time here. Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Looking to throw, it's Klubnik. Got his man on the right. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense. Now, they got to get a stop, and if that's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
They're in control. The clock is their friend. You'd have to expect another run here on 2nd and 6. Motion from the wideout. Wants to adjust the pattern. Gonna run it. It's Haynes. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I mean, you put the ball in your best player's hands. Like, late in the game, you've got to trust your guy. I'm interested to see what they do here on third down coming up. Let's call it third and interesting, right? Top clock ticking down. Do I trust my QB to throw the football? I got the lead. I want that clock to continue to roll.
He's loose. Turning it on. And he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. An explosive play for this offense.
And one of the things I love about this running back is his versatility. He's not just good running the football, but he can catch it as well, and he can make things happen with the ball in his hands. Nice job by the quarterback, getting through the progression, getting it out to his guy, and he does the rest, and that generates a huge play.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you can do.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Try to get it to the edge. Fights off the defender. Stuffed on back-to-back plays. He got nothing, and now they're looking at 3rd and long.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Here's the handoff. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. Timeout called by the defense, 29 seconds to go. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. The field goal is no good. Guys, they miss a chance to stretch the lead. It's still sitting on a 2.
And look, I know there's not a lot of time left, David, but that's a big miss. Obviously, if he hits it, he forces the other team to need to score a touchdown to win. Now he's left the door just a bit open here. We've seen crazy things happen in college football.
Yeah, and crazy things need to happen because you still got to make a few plays to get down the field with very little time on the clock. But now there is hope. You've got a chance. And the other kicker on the other sideline better be getting warmed up.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
They'll move the wide receiver. To the air, it's Manning. Here's a heat. Makes the grab. He's past the marker and out of bounds. There are still 14 seconds left.
What a great individual effort here. This 2-minute situation. He makes the catch in the middle of the field. He knows he's got to find a way to stop the clock. The only way to do that is to get out of bounds. He uses his speed and his vision, and he's able to elude the defense to save some time.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. He wants a big play here late. Throw toward the end zone, picked off right at the goal line. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Great job by the defense, not closing the door completely, but stopping the momentum late in the game when you already got a lead. Nice job, D.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Trying to beat the D deep. Oh, did he toast the coverage? Got it deep downfield. Finds some room. Takes it into the end zone for the touchdown on the final play. The denouement. The epilogue. The finishing touch.
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under and make a big play for it.
Yeah, and when I'm the receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
set for a Power 4 conference matchup. It's the SEC versus the Big 12. Both sides looking for a statement victory today. Welcome to Lubbock, Texas, and the home field of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, Jones AT&T Stadium. As we'll see the number 23 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on the 25th ranked team, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler here with Kirk Herbstreit. Let's get this thing underway. The Sooners will kick this away to get us going. And here's the return from inside the 5. And they stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. So the Texas Tech Red Raiders offense comes on the field first today. This is going to be a tremendous showdown. Strength versus strength. This quarterback's having a monster year, but this is a high-powered defense, the best he's seen. Can't wait to see what happens, Kirk.
Yeah, Chris, this is going to be what you really hope to see is his quarterback who can do it all. Can he deal with the intense pressure that this defense is going to put on him? Talking to the defensive coordinator this week, they feel that they can really rattle the quarterback by putting a lot of pressure on him, giving him a lot of different looks. Let's see how it plays out.
They'll run it from the gun. He's got the first and still going. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
Just what a great battle here at the line of scrimmage. Good push by the offensive line, and the back does enough to be able to pick up the first down.
The RPO caught to the right. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion. Second down play coming up. Looking to throw. It's Morton. He's running out of time here. That's a nice tackle there by the senior.
Hey, if nothing else is there, good decision by this quarterback to be able to pick up some positive yards. Rather see him do that than force the ball into coverage. Good heads-up play.
Quarterback checks the defensive look, makes some adjustments. Out of the gun now on third down. And the pass is intercepted. A takeaway for the defense. Oh, he's bringing it back. Touchdown, Sooners. The defense gets involved in the scoring.
Boy, that's a 14-point swing on the opening drive. Instead of worrying about giving up points, not only do they come up with this interception, but to take it into the end zone, they're an extra point away from really giving their offense an edge.
And the PAT makes it 7-0 to open scoring. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. He tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the Red Raiders offense is back out on the field now. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. They have got to bounce back on this possession after throwing a pick 6 last time out here. They'll tackle at about the 23-yard line.
Great offenses are able to stay ahead of the chains, and runs like that on first down are exactly what I'm talking about. Now you have a lot you can call here on this second down.
And just a short gain this time. They're able to get him down.
Chris, I know it's not a huge game. You didn't pick up the first down, but it's still early in this game. Never abort this running game. You keep working. It's kind of like a body blow in a boxing match. Keep wearing the defense down, and eventually you can hit a big one.
Can he make it to the marker? And he's brought down, but he does have enough for the first down.
Here's a great example of a back knowing where he needed to go on this play, and he didn't mess around. Got between the tackles and earned every single yard.
Try to run it up the middle, but get nothing.
Chris, that play just didn't have much of a chance at all from the snap. The quarterback hands this off, and just nowhere to go. It's almost like the defense was anticipating the play call, and they put themselves in a position to come up with a nice tackle for a loss.
Caught over the middle. It's Joyner. He's in the clear. They stop him at the 49, but that'll be a first down.
Boy, it's so easy to get caught up in the receivers and the quarterback, and your eyes get lost. You forget about the running back. Nice catch and a first down for this offense.
Looking to pass. It's Morton. Here's a throw underneath to the tight end. They bring him down quickly, a short pitch and catch to get a little bit closer to the marker.
And there's the tight end who shows off his hands.
That completion makes it second and medium. Looks like the QB is changing the play at the line. Quarterback looking to pass here on second down. On the move now. He's going to take off. Zero running room. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. The Red Raiders come up to the line to crank the tempo up here. Third down, out of the shotgun. Oh, the quick throw falls incomplete.
Oof, the risk of throwing on third and short. Lots of second guessing going over on that sideline about that play call. You got to wonder if they're going to go for it anyway on fourth down, but what will be the play call?
Fourth down, he's throwing for it. Delivers quickly to the left side. Finds his man, has the first down. They stop him after a big gain. Move the ball to the 26. And the Red Raiders have first and 10 here. Looking for a man. Pressure is coming. And the pass is just thrown away. Clearly intentional grounding. And here comes the penalty mark. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. This is becoming a long drive. Here's play number 9. Looking to pass here on second down. And he'll heave the ball deep down that right side. Oh, and it's batted down by the defense. Great play to deny a touchdown. This will be the 10th play of the drive, but it's third and long. Looking to throw. It's Morton. It's another deep shot. Oh, he dropped it. Can you believe it? A huge gain slips through his hands. Check out this decision. They're going to go for it on fourth and very long. From the shotgun, drops back. Taking a deep shot here to the right. Can't connect in the long throw. Incomplete. A fourth down stop. The Oklahoma Sooners offense comes out for their first possession today. And Kirk, we know this top quarterback is a confident guy, but talking to him, he's also well aware how good that edge pass rusher on the other side is.
Well, he better be ready today. He's got great skill. We know what he's capable of doing, but this will be the best defensive end that he's faced all year.
Breaks into the clear. They make the tackle, but this offense has crossed midfield. Set up with a first down at the 47. How aggressive do you get on first and 10? He'll hand it off. Here he goes. And he's tackled, but only after picking up a first down.
You know, offensive linemen are just a certain breed. They're always going to do their job, no matter who's back there carrying the ball. I'll tell you what, they have a little bit more confidence when the person that's carrying the ball can break off some big-time runs. That makes them block just a little bit harder, knowing what he's potentially capable of doing.
Great start for this offense. 3 plays, and suddenly it's a first and goal. And from the shotgun, an inside handoff. And he busts into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
What an opening drive by this offense, and especially this running back. Every single time they gave him the ball, he's getting positive yards behind that big offensive line. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, you better make some adjustments and do it in a hurry. You got to get more guys committed to the line of scrimmage to stop this run game.
Fields it just outside the goal line. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. Back to pass. It's Morton. Makes a quick catch. It's a solid gain. Moves the ball out to the 28. This line getting set up. It's a first down play. Quarterback adjusting now to the defense. First down. They're going to throw the football. And he's going to take a shot down the left side. And it's hauled in. What a catch. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain. With the quarter break, Kirk, Oklahoma has the lead. They jumped out to an early lead in that opening period. Let's take a quick look at the stats so far. We'll see if this game gets out of hand before halftime, the crucial second quarter beginning right now. Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. Quarterback drops back. We're going to test the secondary. Grab down the middle. It's Joyner. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. That completion makes it second and medium. And he drops back in the gun. Looks to the left for a quick throw. Oh, what a grab! They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time.
I love the call here by the offensive coordinator, getting this wide receiver involved early in the game. Obviously a long way to go, but you want this receiver to make a big impact today and get his confidence established early.
Second down after that run on the previous play. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw. That one falls incomplete. Looking for a flag. Doesn't get it. Brings up third down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. On third down, he drops to throw. It's a screen pass complete to the running back. Play never had a chance. Defense grabs him for a loss. So now on fourth down, out comes the field goal unit. Oh, and he missed it. The kick is no good. Still losing by 14 after the miss.
Now that's going to go down as an empty possession for this offense. No points as he's off target. And now you can see he's hanging his head. What poor kicker.
And the quarterback keeps it on the option. Slides down to avoid the tackle.
But that's what he likes to do. He knows he's a weapon out there, not just with his arm, but when he can pull it down on an option like this and pick up a big chunk of yards, it can leave any defense with their head spinning.
Brought down after a solid run by the senior. Back-to-back chunk plays to begin the drive. The defense on their heels. Play action here on first down. They'll take a deep shot here. He's got it right near the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. Too much speed for the defense.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath, just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. And the Texas Tech offense is back out on the field now. They need something out of this possession. The last time they settled for a field goal attempt, but then they missed it. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. Looks to his left and makes the completion. He's brought down quickly. A short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker. Dropping back, it's Morton. Caught over the middle, it's West. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
The receiver does all the work here. Man, that is easy living for this quarterback. Really good footwork by the receiver. Gets the separation.
Looking for a deep completion. Caught inside the red zone and still running. Potentially a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a long completion. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. The receiver makes the catch. Tackled at the 6-yard line after the completion. Offense really threatening now. Design quarterback run. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Chris, that's what I love about this quarterback. It's a great touchdown, but he shows you his versatility. We know he can throw it, but here he shows you his speed and how he can make the defense pay for that as well.
Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. fielded in the end zone. It's Sategna. Oh, and he's got some space here. Picks up some blocks. Can he make it? Can they catch him? No! Touchdown! Special teams making a monster play. The returner gets the touchdown, but a bunch of guys contributed that time, Kurt.
Yeah, exactly right. The blocks up front really set the tone to be able to give him his chance. You don't see this happen very often in this game where a guy gets a chance to have a kickoff return for a touchdown. Everything has to be just perfect, and of course, he had the speed to be able to get it all the way to the end zone.
Point after, up and good.
Oklahoma, 28. Texas Tech, 7.
Bringing it out, it's Williams. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. And the Texas Tech offense trots back out onto the field now. So the first play of the drive coming up here, under 3 minutes to play before half. Looks like he's going to run it. Slides to avoid the big hit.
Chris, watch him work through his progressions here. Finds the first and the second option aren't there. By the third option, he's got to pull it down and try to pick up some positive yards, of which he did, and then he slides down to avoid the big hit.
It's the 2-minute timeout. This offense running out of time to cut into this lead before the break. Scanning the field, it's Morton. But they can't make the connection. Ball's incomplete. Offense facing a 2nd and 10. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. Downfield shot. Ball's incomplete. Couldn't quite connect there. Offense facing a 3rd and long from the 28. Got to have your pass protection in order on this play. It's caught. Nice pitch and catch. The completion picks up about 8 yards, but sets up a 4th down play now. And a timeout is called. Important stage late here in the 2nd quarter.
Timeout, Texas Tech.
4th down and 2 in their own territory. Coach shows no hesitation. The offense is on the field. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. The gain is enough to move the sticks. Ball at the 40. The Red Raiders getting set on 1st and 10. Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. 1st down, and they're going to throw the ball. Snags the quick throw. Tackled pretty quickly, but that is a decent gain on the throw. And the Red Raiders will crank up the tempo. They look to throw it here on 2nd down. He finds his man. He's stopped, but he gets a 1st down.
This defense has got to be aware of these quick throws to these wide receivers. They're lucky he didn't come up with more yards.
That's caught. It's West. And the defense swarms. Not much of a gain on that completion. Here's the 2nd down play. Wants to throw it. Running out of time in the pocket. It's incomplete. He took a hit as he threw the football, and it brings up a 3rd down. They come to the line. A long way to go for the 1st down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Receiver in motion now. To the air. It's Morton. But it's incomplete, and that will now bring up 4th down.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this 3rd down and long, but when you're so far behind the chains, boy, you really allow this defense to dictate things, and it allows...
And he finds his target. He has the 1st. We make the stop, but a big play moves the ball to the red zone. The Red Raiders are going to cash in this red zone trip. Grab down the middle. It's West. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion. Here comes a crucial 2nd down play. Every yard tough to find down here in the red zone. Runner finally brought down, but at the 5-yard line, defense getting pushed back here. Now a chance to cut into this lead before halftime. It's 1st and goal. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain. Interesting choice here on the goal line. 5 wide receivers on 2nd and goal. That's a design quarterback keeper. No stopping him on that run. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
Now that's what I'm talking about. This hasn't been a great 1st half, but putting up that touchdown like this, now they're going to be feeling good heading into that locker room and get themselves to believe that they can come back and win this game.
So after taking a closer look, the officials are going to overturn that previous ruling on the field. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple. And he could not be stopped. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Man, that's another touchdown for this guy. This defense better adjust and get eyes into that backfield. He may go for a third or a fourth later today.
So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. He's going to return it from near the goal line. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So they'll just take a knee here, and that will send us to halftime. Looks like the offense content to run the clock out here and go to halftime. Talk about the second half. Miller's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Guys, looks like we've got a terrific atmosphere there today in Lubbock.
The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. So no return here. He takes a knee in the end zone, and they'll begin the drive at the 25. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. First play of the drive, he looks left for a completion. Receiver brought down after a short pitch and catch. Second down play coming up for this offense. Grab behind the line. It's Wheeler. Tackle is made, but that's good for a first down to the 47. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Wheeler. He's in the clear. That's a solid gain. Moves the football inside the 40. First and 10. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Breaks into the clear. They make the tackle, but the offense has a first down now at the 21. Looks like a player is down injured at that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check it out. And the Sooners begin a new series here. First and 10. To the air. It's Mateer. Defense is coming after him. Receiver makes the catch. Touchdown, Oklahoma. This offense is still clicking. Here's the point after attempt. If you play quarterback, how about appreciating a receiver that runs his routes that precisely?
Chris, it's not just his route running. It's the chemistry between the quarterback and the receiver that really, I think, is unique. They put so much time into this in the offseason. By the time they get to Saturdays, you can close your eyes and make your throw. It's exactly what we saw right there.
For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. On first and 10, they'll look to throw it. Using his legs here. Tackle made on the play at the 29-yard line. And the Red Raiders will come to the line to run the hurry-up.
Boy, this guy can do it all. We know what he can do with his arm, but when things aren't there, does a good job of pulling it down, knowing where the first down marker is, picking up the first down.
They bring him down at the 44. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield now. Looking to throw it on first down. He escapes the pocket. Grab down the middle. It's Hudson. They get him down quickly. Not much of a gain on that completion. The offense with 5 receivers now. Empty backfield. The pocket breaking down. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw that time. And now third down coming up.
Boy, that pass rush got in there in a hurry. Great job by this defense of disrupting the rhythm and timing between the quarterback and the receivers.
Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Looking deep downfield to the left. Incomplete. They cannot connect on the deep ball. The offense trailing here in the second half. This is a crucial fourth down try.
Now the defense better be aggressive here themselves. Clear.
Looking to make a big play downfield. Caught near the goal line. And he will score. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
This is what having an accurate quarterback is so important. Fourth down, critical situation. He puts that ball right on his receiver. What I love to see is he not only picks up that first down, but he's got the speed and the awareness to take it to the end zone for the touchdown.
He'll return it from inside the 5. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now to begin at the 19. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Second down after that previous play.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain that run game. Held him just at 2 yards. Chris, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. The guy calling plays at 2nd and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air.
Got a man. Catch made. Big play. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play. So the ball placed right at midfield as the offense starts with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's Mateer. Short connection to the tight end here. Big man finally brought down by the quarterback. That was a tough assignment. That completion makes it 2nd and medium. Handoff taken, trying to run it behind the big left tackle. And the defense smothers him for no gain. Offense gets set up here. It's 3rd down. Dropping back. He's going to throw for the 1st down. Looking deep to the right side. And it's incomplete. They let it fly on 3rd down, but now it brings up 4th. The Sooners will have to punt this one away. And the kick angles out of bounds, so no return possible here. And now the first play of this drive, they'll begin at the 36. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. Makes the catch downfield. Tackle made after a big play all the way to the 27. The complexion of this drive suddenly changing. One massive play, and they're closing in on the red zone now with the 1st down. The pass ball is incomplete on the scramble. That's good coverage.
Even though that was incomplete, that was a savvy play by the quarterback to escape the pocket and the pressure to avoid taking the sack there.
Incompletion makes it 2nd down. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. Breaks in open space. The gain is 8 yards, so it sets up a 3rd and 2. The Red Raiders are looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. In the 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. He's got it near the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders, as they come roaring back now.
Well, that's his 2nd touchdown catch already in just the 1st half. You can guarantee the coach on the other side is trying to make every adjustment he can to slow this guy down.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Sategna. He's brought down at the 12. That's poor field position to start the drive. The first play of the drive now, they're backed up at the 12-yard line. It's a shotgun run call. They'll try to run inside, but nowhere to go. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? The shotgun handoff here. They'll tackle him at the 17-yard line.
I know this defense worked very hard at halftime to come up with answers on how to try to slow down this running back after the big 1st half, and he's already at it again.
Scanning the field, it's Mateer looking to set up a screen pass here. And he will be stuffed for no gain. The Sooners will have to kick this away. And he'll kick it away now for the 2nd time. And the returner brought down by the coverage team. And the Red Raiders offense is back out on the field now. So here comes the first play of the drive. They'll begin at the 42. They were able to punch it in the end zone last time, looking to do the same thing here to see if the defense can make adjustments.
Well, anytime you use your quarterback as a runner, the goal is obviously to hit some big plays. You've got to be careful of letting your quarterback take too many big hits. Not only can he get...
And he's going to stretch the defense, taking a deep shot here. And it's hauled in, catch made way downfield. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
That's exactly exactly what this offense needed to do. A quick strike to be able to climb back into this football game. Now can the defense do their job and get a stop and give this hot offense the football back?
And the kickoff will be returned. The returner is brought down. Gets us started with the next drive. The defense with pre-snap movement of its own. Quick throw to the left. He gains 9, so it's 2nd and 1. Offense coming to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before we reach the end of the quarter. Caught behind the line. It's Wheeler. And he's brought down short of the line to gain in what should be the last play of this third quarter. Heck of a ride through a very competitive first 3 quarters as we check out some of the stats here. We begin the quarter with a crucial play. Offense setting up for this 3rd down. Back to throw. It's Mateer. The receiver grabs it. Moves the ball to the 25. Good enough for a 1st down. And the Sooners come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. And looking to throw now on 1st down. Looking for the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Burks. Tackled at the 40. That'll earn a fresh set of downs. The Sooners pick up 1st down yardage to keep the drive going. He keeps it on the design run. Second down after that run on the previous play. Secondary up now, trying to jam these receivers. Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down. Grab down the middle. It's Burks. They bring him down, but the gain moves the ball into enemy territory at the 43. See what the call is on 1st and 10. Quarterback keeps the football. You make the tackle, but that's an excellent gain. Moves the ball to the 33. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. Oh, they can't bring him down. Offense sets up for play number 8 on this drive. QB keeper all the way. They'll avoid the big hit with the slide. One of the biggest plays we've had so far. 3rd down and the crowd really getting into it. Dropping back. We're going to throw for the 1st down. Looking downfield near the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. They jump on top now here in the 4th. That's another passing strike from his quarterback. He is having himself a tremendous ballgame.
Boy, this guy just can't miss. Every single time he throws, it seems like he's coming up with another touchdown. The receivers are running good routes. He has enough time to throw. And, man, this poor defense, they might want to think about changing up coverage because right now it is not working.
Be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. Back to pass. It's Morton. With the catch, it's Douglas. Looks like a man is down on the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. That completion makes it 2nd and medium. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up 3rd down. Quarterback operating an empty set. Drops back, needing a 3rd down completion here. Makes the grab with plenty of room to run. Here he goes. He's in the clear. All the way to the end zone. They couldn't catch him. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
This receiver is putting on a show today. That is 3 trips to the end zone already. And based on how this defense is playing against him, this may not be the last time we see him in the end zone today.
He thought about returning it, but instead takes a knee. It'll be a touchback. They'll start at the 25. And the first play of the drive now from the 25. Here comes a first down pass attempt. Pulls it in. It's Gibson. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. High completion makes it second and medium. Pass is caught. The defense grabs him after the completion. He's just short of a first down. Here we go. Third down and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. Caught over the middle. It's Ott. He's brought down, but not before getting into enemy territory at the plus 47.
Chris, sometimes the quarterback's just trying to find the open guy and get him the ball. It's exactly what he's able to do here. Found a way to pick up the first down.
Finds a man downfield. That's a big gain to the right. Tackle made at the 36. It'll be first down. This offense in good position here. And the quarterback keeps it here. Breaks into the clear. Here he goes. Scoots out of bounds after a nice pickup on that running play. The Sooners lining up here on 1st and 10. Quarterback still with the football. He'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And the player is down injured after that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check him out. Play action fake. Looking to throw. Makes the catch. Can he get in? Touchdown, Oklahoma. And they take the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Give credit to this offense. They work some clock. They eventually get the ball in the end zone. Now they've got the lead. You kick the extra point, and you hope your defense can hold on so you can win this game.
And the point after is right down the middle. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Return starts from inside the 5. Be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the Texas Tech offense is back out on the field now. 1st and 10. Not much time left. They need to find the end zone in this possession. And the first play of the drive now coming up from the 17-yard line. Pop pass on the jet sweep. He's in the clear. Really solid first down gain. He's just short of the marker, so maybe a chance here to take a downfield shot. Here we go, trailing late in the game here. Serious urgency for this offense right now. Looking deep for late game heroics. Oh, and he can't quite hold on. That would have sealed the victory. Does bring up 3rd down. Tight game. Final 2 minutes. Can the offense make a play here? And they desperately need it. On the run here. Lets it go. Receiver makes the grab. The stop made at the 45, but enough for a first down. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Looking downfield. It's Morton. Quick throw. Testing the middle. What a catch! Take it down, but not before he makes the first down. The Red Raiders hustle to the line to run the hurry up. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. Deep shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Texas Tech. What a grab in the end zone in a clutch moment.
Chris, I'm shocked by this. I mean, this is a great touchdown by this offense. They're an extra point away from tying this game up. We may be headed to overtime.
hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete.
Man, Chris, I just don't know. Here we are in the fourth quarter. You're down by one. The extra point ties the game. I guess they decided to try to take the lead by going for two, but they miss it, and now they're still down by one. I don't like the call. What a great job of coming up with that onside kick. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they work the clock. All you need is a field goal here late in this game. Let's see how aggressive their offensive coordinator is.
They've got him, but he picks up 8 yards. Sets up a nice 2nd and 2. Here we go, trailing late in the game here. Serious urgency for this offense right now. Quarterback looking to throw it on 2nd down. And the receiver snags it. It's complete. And the coach quickly calls timeout after the play, trying to hold on to as much time as possible. Tight game, final 2 minutes. Can the offense make a play here? And they desperately need it. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end.
Well, I thought we'd see this tight end all game long within this game plan, but that's just his 2nd catch of the game. The defense has done a nice job of being able to recognize where he is and take him out of this plan.
He'll be taken down. The defense rises up with a sack at a crucial moment. And a timeout taken by the offense. 18 seconds on the clock. Offense has a ways to go to get into field goal range. They need some big plays, and time is winding down. Now in 3rd and very long, looking to throw. That one falls incomplete. They tried to press it deep, but now it brings up 4th down. The Red Raiders will look to convert here on 4th down. The pass rush closing in. Oh, and they'll trap him back there. A 4th down stop and a sack, no less. So this one is tucked away. Time for victory formation. And the quarterback just kneels down. That's the kind of matchup we hope for, Kirk. This team came in higher ranked, respected. They were fully tested. They had to show how good they were to survive the upset here today.
And I really think that the coaches and the players, they love playing in these kind of games. You really are going to get tested. You find out what you're made out of. And these guys really met the challenge. I'm very, very impressed with the execution and how they played this game. And now they go to the next step.
And that is going to do it. We enjoy being here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler. And this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. matchup right here between the two clear power players on the college football landscape. Extra intensity and intrigue when the Big Ten collides with the SEC. Hi, folks, and welcome to this highly competitive matchup as we'll see the number 11 team in the country, the Florida Gators, taking on the 16th ranked team, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Chris Fowler, joined as always by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get right to the action.